It's time for Did You Watch It?
How does this show work? We watch what we like, we talk about what we watch, and maybe you'll like what you hear. I'm Liz.
And I'm Neil. Last night we watched episode 3 of The Bachelor season 19. The show aired on Monday, January 19th, 2015. Here's what we thought about it. I want to get your spin on the season thus far, now that we're 3 episodes in.
Okay.
What's your assessment overall?
My assessment is they're doing weird things to try to make it different. Mm-hmm. And I kind of liked it better when the drinking and the shenanigans was a surprise instead of expected and highlighted. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think
go ahead.
I think Ashley S., quite frankly, looks like a mental patient. She's got that look in her eye.
It's that institutionalized stare.
A girl like that is so unpredictable and so far out there would have never made it through this process a few years ago.
Okay.
You know, and then I'm a huge Jimmy Kimmel fan. Okay, so I think he's hilarious and funny. But having him through the whole episode was just... It was just odd. And I love him. And I love this show. And I thought he and Chris were hilarious together. But it was just like I couldn't figure out why this successful talk show host comedian guy who's just this, mega person is going on dates with Chris. It's just weird. I feel like I'm in an alternative universe.
If the appearance of Jimmy Kimmel on The Bachelor show itself doesn't show you how much trouble the show is actually in, then there's no convincing.
I know.
There was a time when The Bachelor had absolutely no problem standing on its own and just, we've got the people, we're good.
Yeah.
We're a cash cow for ABC. So now, just this year, we've got the Rose Parade float. We've got Jimmy Kimmel.
What's next, man?
Exactly. I'm afraid to ask. I don't even want to think about it. I'll just be surprised when it happens. Oh, my
gosh.
We start off with the one-on-one with Caitlin. And, of course, Jimmy arranged these dates. At least that's what they're telling us.
Yes, he did. And they were really creative.
It was a date to Costco. And Jimmy gave him a shopping list because he's coming over for dinner.
Which I thought was hilarious.
In the first few moments of this, it was definite cheese in my mind. It's like, What the hell? You know? But then in thinking about it and allowing it to simmer and to seep in. And so this is one of the best dates that I've ever seen on The Bachelor.
It was awesome because it made you kind of see how are they going to work together in this situation that's just completely unpredictable. Nothing that they would have thought. They thought they were going on this grandiose date, right? They're at Costco. Mm-hmm. Are they going to have fun with it? Are they going to laugh?
Exactly.
Are they going to giggle? Are they going to be like, I don't know what to do? They were talking to people. It was kind of fun.
And this has been my biggest complaint about The Bachelor ever since I started watching last year. It's like all of the dates and all of the little get-togethers seem so out of reach.
Right.
I want to see something that is approachable, something that you or I could involve ourselves in without having to take out a second.
And Costco is approachable, my friend.
Costco's definitely approachable. I got to tell you, with this date, Caitlin's value is rapidly increasing.
Right? I really liked her on this date.
More and more with each passing minute.
I liked her with Chris. I liked kind of just her fun sense of humor. Yeah, there was definitely chemistry.
It was a hell of a first impression, but I am willing to forego that and just look at the intent rather than the execution.
Right? Because I thought she was crazy in the beginning.
But we've got Ashley S., so that bar has been raised. The only thing that didn't make it ideal, there was just a little too much Jimmy.
He had some really funny lines.
He absolutely did. I would have much preferred if he had just stolen the pillows and then Chris give her the rose.
Yeah, exactly.
That was my only complaint. But otherwise, this was a boss date.
Yeah.
We have a group date with Britt, Jillian, Becca, Tracy, Mackenzie, Kelsey, Amber, Ashley S., Julia, Samantha, Nikki, and Carly.
Okay, again, we've got 63 people on this date. What is going on?
See, last week you said you'd never seen 12 on a group date before. Now you've seen it 2 weeks in a row. So you should be sad.
There seemed like more on this date than there was last week.
Because it's the hoedown throwdown.
Oh my gosh.
What they had to do, since Chris is a farmer, they had to engage in a few farm-style chores. First thing they had to do was they had to shuck 15 ears of corn and put it in the basket. Then after they're done with the corn, they had to go to the chicken pen and get one of 8 eggs. Those who didn't get an egg got eliminated. They then had to crack that egg into a frying pan without breaking the yolk. If you broke the yolk, you got eliminated.
Okay, not that I'm an expert egg breaker, but how often does the yolk break?
Yeah, if you drop the yolk in the pan, it will break.
Really?
It's very fragile.
I don't know that I've ever broken a yolk. I have to purposely, like with the spatula, break up the yolk because I like it that way.
Well, you also have to give it time to seep out. You don't notice it first thing, but over time, the yolk will ooze out.
Interesting. Cooking lessons with Neil.
Yeah, anytime. So then after that, you had to milk one of 6 goats, and it just so happened that one of the goats was a male, so that would be a very interesting milking session.
Yeah, exactly.
Then you had to fill a mason jar to the red line, which was about 8 ounces, and then drink the milk.
Yeah, but barf. I would have totally gagged and puked.
I'm sure you would have. And then after that, if you could still hold down the contents of your stomach, you then had to shovel a pile of manure into a wheelbarrow, roll it to this little tarp that they had, and then dump the manure.
See, so this is a sense overload.
So you just have to ask yourself the question, do you want your man?
Chris? Absolutely.
Well, then you'd be drinking milk and shoveling shit, wouldn't you?
Well, if you put it that way, maybe.
Finally, you had to go into the big pig pen and you had to catch a greased pig. There were only 4 pigs available. You had to pick the pig up and place it in a small pen in the corner, and the first one to complete all of the tasks wins the competition.
Yes.
I got to give it to Carly. She chugged that milk down like a boss.
Oh my gosh. She did everything like a boss. She just went for it.
Amber, she just need to go home right then.
Yeah.
That whole, I don't like, it's salty and warm. I don't like anything like that in my mouth.
I'm going to leave that one alone.
Chelsea tried. But I got to tell you, Jillian did impress me with that little bionic woman style leap.
Okay, Jillian is buff and agile and she was just all in. She was committed, so committed to this task.
She absolutely wanted to win, which makes Carly's victory that much more impressive.
Oh, did you see Jillian's face?
Oh, she was not a happy camper.
She was not at all.
She was about to spit out that milk. So then they got together later on that night in their little post-group date soiree.
Yes.
And Carly didn't waste any time taking her prize.
She grabbed him and she planted one on him.
Yeah, she won.
That was confident. She was feeling so confident.
To the victor goes the spoil.
Right? Yeah, there were tons of kissing going on.
As long as we're on the subject of kissing, during our year-end review episode, we did touch on the subject of girls versus women as it pertains to The Bachelor.
Yes.
Isabel and I were operating under the premise that the girls on the I Want to Marry Harry show were definitely girls, where The Bachelor, had a higher incidence of women.
And I disagreed wholeheartedly, saying...
And you disagree wholeheartedly, and these heifers did not hold up our end at all.
Wait a minute. So are you saying I was right?
Later on, I have to give you the heifer breakdown.
Okay, please do.
The heifer breakdown after episode 3. But the one that I really want to focus on right now is Mackenzie.
Oh, gosh.
Note to Mackenzie.
She is so awkward.
Just because you were the first didn't mean you were going to be the last.
I know, and it was just so weird.
Look around you, little girl, because there are currently 17 other women who want exactly the same thing that you want.
And why would she even ask the question? It was so dumb.
Because she ain't seen the show, obviously. Okay. But I do have to say, without defending Mackenzie for 1 second, I have seen more kissing in the first 3 episodes of this season than I saw in the entire Juan Pablo season.
There's no, like, camera kissing. It's all just blah, blah.
No, it's all just, especially when Ashley I is in the house, because...
That poor girl, it's just painful to watch. I can't watch her kiss him.
Becca, she avoided the kiss. She's like, I want to kiss you, but I just don't want to rush it.
She goes through the whole conversation and then doesn't even,
It's like, I really want to kiss you, but I just don't want to. I just don't feel like we're at that point. I don't usually do this quickly. And it's but hey, it didn't keep her from getting a rose.
No, I mean, she got the group date rose.
Yeah, just say no, kids.
Girls.
Here's the thing. I got to give it to her because she said she wanted it, but she didn't want it just because everybody else was doing it.
And I get that.
I gave her credit for that.
Exactly.
So then we go to the one-on-one with Whitney.
Okay.
And yes, her voice is still annoying.
No, it's like helium inhaler voice.
Hi, I'm Whitney. You know, oh my God.
Your imitation is incredible, by the way. I love it.
Thank you. Thank you very much. But the thing is, when she's talking normally...
She's fine.
Her voice is high.
I like her when she's talking normally.
They had a little picnic at this winery.
Yes.
But somehow, some way, they ended up crashing a wedding down at the bottom of the hill.
Somehow, some way, come on. She asks him...
Hey, you know what? This is what they're trying to sell us, okay?
She asks him what he's looking for. He says he wants someone who can go with the flow and be spontaneous. And guess what? Then she comes up with a brilliant idea to spontaneously crash the wedding.
It's a miracle.
Right?
Miracle,
I mean, she asks him, he says that he wants somebody who can have random conversations with people and, poof. Magically, she's having random conversations with people, and he's saying, wow, I really like that.
I'm wiping away the tears of pride that I'm feeling for you right now.
It just was so proud of you. It was so contrived. It pissed even me off. I was like, come on. You don't expect us to really... That's why I hate the question when a girl asks a guy, so what are you looking for? Why would you even ask that question? So you can, poof, magically morph into this person so that you'll be the perfect match for him. It's just irritating.
So that's why whenever anybody asks me that question, I always say, well, can you take something warm and salty in your mouth?
Oh my God.
So,
no.
Because they're not going to hem and haw and lie about that.
Oh my gosh.
They end up crashing this wedding. They go home, they get changed, they get a gift.
Pause
and
for
then
eye
they
roll.
drive in and they sneak into the wedding.
It lost it for me. I was kind of mad.
Yeah.
I was like, don't spoon feed me. I don't want to be spoon fed. I want to watch this. I want to just figure it out for myself.
No, see, the thing is, you're hearing it now. They've always said it. You just weren't listening.
I want to go back. Can we go back?
You cannot unring a bell.
I know. I can't unsee what I saw in this episode. It's just disheartening.
I'm sorry. Voice issues aside, I was impressed with Whitney.
I kind of liked how they ended this date. Like, it was the real Whitney and the real Chris.
I think we really saw the real Chris.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Because I don't think Chris is that good of an actor.
No, he's not at all.
Yeah, he was literally getting choked up.
Right?
While he was talking to her. And I could hear it.
It was sincere, saying that you made this date incredible. And I'm so happy that it happened.
Yeah, because I thought it was a stupid idea when the producer suggested it to me. But... you actually made it cool.
Exactly.
So obviously she got a rose. Before we go to the pool party, I needed clarification on a little thing, so I did some research.
Okay, are we going to talk about Chris's workout routine?
No.
Okay, didn't you love that peek at his workout routine?
No.
I loved it.
Oh, that's great.
Okay.
I'm happy for you. Julia's story was absolutely terrible.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It was absolutely terrible.
I was riveted.
It was one of those things that you just couldn't not listen to.
Oh yeah.
And it was tragic, and it made me feel bad.
It was horrible. It was so hard to hear.
Because of that story, she needs to go home next week.
I know. It's too much.
This is not your introduction piece.
It's not. But see, the thing is that she's convinced that she's ready. She's convinced that she's okay. And, you know, the fact that she's hanging on to Chris like she is because he's comforting her, it's just like, this is a recipe for, I mean, talk about rebound. This is like the rebound of rebounds.
Yeah, and Ashley I is convinced she can kiss.
Oh, Ashley I is convinced of a lot of things, like she's so upset that she couldn't do her Kardashian look. What?
See, I didn't even hear that.
Oh, you didn't?
Once again,
when they announced that they weren't going to do the cocktail party, that they were going to do the pool party instead, they did a whole thing on her saying, "Oh, but I don't get to do my Kardashian look."
Oh, God, give it up, girl.
I gotta say, she's got killer lashes, though.
Okay.
They're beautiful.
They don't help her kiss. Bonus points to Britt for interrupting Chris when he was going into his story about how difficult the process is. And she just kissed him mid-sentence.
Yeah, no, she couldn't wait to get that kiss in. It was like,
yeah,
stop talking.
Stop talking.
Stop
just
talking.
Stop talking.
Just kiss me.
With that, I had to sit down and really think about my heifer breakdown.
Okay, let's hear it.
So I've got 4 categories.
Okay.
I've got your women. I've got your girls. I've got your fences, because...
You're on the fence.
And then the absolute unknowns.
Okay. So they're all heifers?
The women are women.
Okay.
If you are not a woman...
You're a heifer.
You're most likely a heifer.
Okay.
So of the women, we have Britt, Becca, Whitney, Caitlin, and Carly.
Okay. I sort of agree.
Because Carly downed that milk.
Yeah, she did. Oh my God, she's a better woman than I.
On the fence, we have Jillian, Megan, Julia, Kelsey, and Jade.
Jade is kind of, I don't know, we haven't seen much of her.
I was filling this out, and I was just getting ready to put Jade under girl. But then she asked for the tour of Casa Chris.
Oh, yes, she did.
When they tested the bed.
Oh my God.
I promoted her to fence.
Right? Okay.
Under girls, we got Mackenzie, of course.
Of course.
Ashley I, of course.
Of course.
And Amber, of course.
Amber, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd like to see Amber in a different category, but I tend to agree.
Yeah, see, it's that whole, I don't like warm and salty.
Yeah. That really did it for you, didn't it?
Boo.
Oh my gosh.
And then my unknowns are Ashley S, because I don't know what the hell she is.
No, you don't have a defined category for Ashley S?
Unknown.
Wackadoodle.
But that's not my criteria. It's about maturity. It's about carriage. It's about the willingness to pursue that which you want. I don't have a column for just fucking crazy. See? So she has to settle for unknown.
Okay.
So then also there are Tracy, Samantha, Nikki, and Trina.
I don't even know who they are.
Unknown. There you go.
They're not getting very much camera time. I don't remember anything they said. So, yeah. Can I tell you my best Jimmy Kimmel line ever?
You go.
I loved it when he said to Chris, kind of right before the rose ceremony, he says, whatever you do, don't be yourself. Be someone who makes better speeches.
Thank you.
Because it was so hilarious. Through the whole episode, he's like, oh no, man, start over. That was my favorite.
That was good. The rose ceremony, Ashley S. made it another week.
Why?
Mackenzie with you're kissing all these girls, and I thought we were special.
It's just weird.
She'd have gotten the boot like, oh my God. Oh my God. Trina has multiple postgraduate degrees. She got a 4.0 in each of them. Now, I know Chris is a farmer, but damn, man.
I know. Okay, so here I have a question, and maybe you can answer this because I know how observant you are. Have they always had this really sad goodbye music during the segments where people say goodbye at the end?
I believe so. Oh, that is not anything new.
It is tugging at my heart this season.
Why?
Because it's so sad.
The music?
Yes. The music with the girls, and the girls are just sounding more and more sad at the end.
Amber's little exit, and it's like, with the head cocked to the side.
I know, it was terrible.
She literally looked like she was 7 years old.
I know, but it tugged at my heartstrings. Whoever the composer is on the music for this part is doing a great job.
See, that's left over from Julia.
No, it's just, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Why you fighting me, girl?
I don't know. I just...
So next week, once again, I don't care.
And I'm starting not to. How did I get here?
You're starting to see.
I like living in Fantasyland.
But if you stay in Fantasyland, you'll never have the reality.
I love my TV Fantasyland.
You know what? You're evolving.
I don't want to evolve.
You're using tools.
My opposable thumbs.
Yeah, you're walking upright. It's all good. Don't be scared.
Hold me.
That's our time for today. You can follow us on Twitter at @did_watch it. You can also find us at iTunes. Let us know what you think. Thank you for listening.